Why didn't revival happen after Charlie Kirk died? That's a question that I've seen on occasion, but I think needs to be addressed more clearly. I heard someone mention that possibly the Candace Owens podcast, conspiracy theorist subset had a role in that, and I don't believe that at all. We saw an uptick in church attendance and Bible sales after Charlie Kirk's assassination. But nothing changed within the church. And within that time that Charlie was assassinated, we were and we're continuing to go through in the charismatic evangelical world some growing pains because around the time that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, we were also dealing with corruption within the church, specifically Bethel. And then we had the just NAR, the TED Talk type stuff. There's just a lot of growing pains happening within the charismatic evangelical world. The prosperity gospel is still alive and well. And so what happened was, and Charlie was a proponent of evangelicalism. And so these people came to church, and we are and were experiencing these growing pains. And we have pastors that are not preaching sermons against sin and repentance. And so you're not having the altar calls of self-reflection like I think is needed in the charismatic evangelical world. Revival really comes, we're reviving the church or people that once attended that are looking to reignite that fire within them. Revival. Well, that's not going to happen if you go to hear a TED Talk that gives you the warm and fuzzies and wants your money. That's just not going to happen. It's also not going to happen when you get like 2 Bible verses on a Sunday morning. And so you're not being forced to have that self-reflection. So if we have some sort of deep sermon where we are asking the congregants to self-reflect on sin and personal failures and how they have come short and they need Jesus, and having altar calls to reflect that, revival. But we're not having that. And then once that happens, and these sermons that are asking us to self-reflect on sin and shortcomings and our need for Jesus because we fall short, then the desire for, oh, I need to know more of Jesus. I need to read his word. I need to do better. And those kinds of growth will come along with it, but we just don't have that. And so I don't believe that revival was stopped by some internet conspiracy theory. I believe that it was stopped because of the current growing pains within the evangelical charismatic church. And until we are able to face that, or we're able to have leaders within the charismatic evangelical world that are willing to have those hard sermons again, we're stuck in no revival mode. We're currently stuck in lukewarm mode in the church, and we have hundreds of thousands of lukewarm churches across the country. And once pastors are able to self-reflect on that, we can move forward.